Year 11 methods, we're going to look at exercise 3E, question 5a. So we're going to draw a graph using the turning point form, okay? So the turning point form obviously you have to complete the square first to get the turning point, okay? Now, as you notice, we've got a 2 in front of the x squared, so before we get the turning point, we're going to take it out. So before I even draw anything, I would like to get what I can extract easily from this equation. I know the y-intercept of this quadratic is 0, -5, and my shape is going to be a positive upright quadratic, so smiley face. Now, I want to get the x-intercepts, not x-intercept, sorry, the turning point. So I got to make sure I take the factor of 2 out first. Okay, remember, I cannot do completing the square without the factor being a 1. Okay, so since the number in front of the x squared is now 1, I can complete the square inside. Okay, so and remember that's y. So when I do the scaffold thing inside to complete the square, we know that half of -1 is -1/2, and square of a half is a quarter, so -5/2. Now I need to simplify this inside. Now remember we do have a double bracket, so be careful here. We need to do that a bit later. So -1/4 minus 5 on 2 is the same as -1/4 minus 10 on 4. So it's -11 on 4 is the fraction inside. Now, here's what we're doing. We're like expanding a bracket here because we got a double bracket going on. I need to multiply by 2 with the bracket inside and 2 with the fraction as well. So it's like multiplying 2 terms. So 2 times bracket's just 2 outside bracket. 2 times -11/4 is -11/2. Okay. So what I'm doing now is I've got my equation turning point form. So I don't have a double bracket scenario in it anymore. Great, one bracket, normal. So my turning point would be positive a half, opposite to what you expect, and same what you expect for the y. Okay, for your y coordinate. Okay. So to get the x-intercept, I let y equal 0. So I'm literally putting making this y here over 0, and I'm rearranging and solving for x. So move the 11/2 to the other side, and I divide it both sides by 2. So that's 11/4 equals x minus a half squared. Square root both sides. So root 11/2 equals x minus a half. Add a half to both sides, plus or minus root 11/2. So equals 1 plus or minus root 11/2 is your x-intercepts. Okay. Now again, we need a guesstimate. Okay. We need to see whether 1 minus 11/2 has got to be in the positive region of the x-axis or the negative region of the x-axis. So we know that root 9 is 3. So if I minus a number that's a bit greater than 3, because root 11's a bit greater than root 9, then we know that's going to be in the negative region. Okay, so I already know, get an idea in my head where I'm going to place the x-intercept will happen to have surds in it. So 1 minus root 11/2 would be somewhere in the negative region. So I'm just going to place it here. So 1 minus root 11/2. And you've got 1 plus root 11/2, so it's somewhat greater. 1 plus root 11/2. And let's see, what else do we need to know? We know our y-intercept's -5. Okay, that sort of corresponds to what we have here. So we've got y-intercept of -5 and a turning point of 1/2 and -11/2. -11/2 as a y coordinate is -5.5, which makes sense because this is -5. The turning point will be slightly lower, so it'll be at positive half. So I'll just rewrite that positive half, -11/2. Okay. So all I need to do now is draw the graph, and you got to try to make sure it's roughly symmetrical. So we're done. Right, so I've got my x-intercepts, my y-intercept, and my turning point, and the graph is roughly proportional. So we are happy. So there's no way around these questions. You've got to practice, 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 because I know the steps, but the more you practice, the better you get at using, manipulating numbers and solving equations like these. So I hope it helps.